Good morning. We are extremely pleased that you are here. It is good to come together for the purpose of co-creating. Do you agree?
Yes.
You are knowing what you are wanting. It is an evolving thing, yes. Are you enjoying the sensation of the expansion of your own desire? And is it all right with you if your desire expands slightly faster than your ability to allow? Say yes. That's an important thing to understand, that we all, but especially you, well, all of us, but especially you, well, all of us, but we understand it and we want you to understand. So we say, especially you, it is of value for you to accept that you will be eternally incomplete. And you have to understand that those words go very well together, because the only way that you can be eternal is if you are incomplete. You must be able to continue to expand, and it is our promise to you that everything in this universe is in the constant eternal state of expansion, which means if you understand the way the process works, the contrast or variety that you are living is inspiring your new preference or desire, and that new desire is what summons the source and carries what is now into the future experience. But the thing that's tricky about the future experience is that the future never gets here, because the moment that it approaches, it becomes now. Tomorrow never comes, because when it gets here, it's today. So when you realize that we are all embarking constantly upon this never-ending journey of expansion, and you accept that there will always be some fresh new desire within you that has not yet manifested. You chose this time-space reality where there is a buffer of time between when you get the idea of something and you line up with the idea of it and it manifests. Now, this gathering is about the art of allowing. It really speaks to how you can shorten that time, how you can get an idea and be so trusting of the process and trusting of your own worthiness or goodness. We promise you it is there, whether you know it or not. And trusting that law of attraction is attending to the vibrational countenance that you are offering. You can get to the place where you can become so aware of the process and so knowing, because of the trial and error that you have deliberately offered, that you know that whatever you set your attention upon is going to come into your experience. And you can get very good at deliberately turning your focus and deliberately choosing the things you think about and deliberately paying attention to the way that you feel, so that you have some sense of which way you're going with your thoughts. And you can absolutely shorten that time between wanting something and receiving it in full-blown manifestation. And we're here to help you to do that. But we want you to right now decide that you're going to stop being unhappy about that interim time, because it is your dissatisfaction in what has not been achieved that makes it take longer to come. In fact, you can put yourself in an indefinite holding pattern, because you can get so fixated on the absence of something that you want that becomes not only the often activated vibration within you, but the dominant activated vibration within you. That's what a belief is. It's just a thought you keep thinking. So as you beat the drum of the absence of something that you want, or you beat the drum of the presence of something that you don't want, you no longer want, you want it to leave you, you hold yourself in vibrational alignment with this unwanted thing. It becomes your dominant point of vibrational offering. Law of attraction receives it as your vibration and matches the signal of your vibration, just like the radio transmitter and receiver matches up. And you continue to hold yourself where you don't want to be. And then we know, then those desires don't feel so fresh. They get old and stale pretty fast. And so we want to say to you that when something that you want, or something that you think you want, or something that you've been wanting is unpleasant to you when you think about it, it's taken a turn for the worse. Because what that means is you've practiced the vibration so long in discord with what you really want, it would be good for you to distract yourself from it. Every subject is really two subjects: what is wanted and lack of it. So there is a subject of wellness, but there is a subject of absence of wellness. There is a subject of financial abundance, and there is a subject of lack of financial abundance. So often when you think, there are many other subjects than those, but you get the sense of what we mean. Although to come to one of these gatherings, you'd hardly know it. It's mostly, I don't have enough dollars, and I don't have enough mate, and I don't have enough bodily conditions that please me. That's usually where your life boils down, and that's all right. But we want you to understand that whatever it is you've been practicing with your thoughts is the vibration that you have become so familiar to that you could even call it a vibrational set point. It's sort of, you say, I'm stuck here, and we say, you're not stuck, and you say, well, then why don't things change? And we say, because you keep thinking the same thoughts over and over again. And you say, yes, and the reason I do that is because I'm stuck. And we say, all right, we'll admit you might be stuck on a pattern of thought, but you're not really stuck. You're just, we love you, lazy. It's just easier to think the thought that you've been thinking, or the thought that others think around you, than it is to choose a thought that is more beneficial to you. And the only reason that you will continue to choose thoughts that bring you things you don't want, or keep things apart from you that you do want, and that don't feel good while you think them, the only possible reason that you could be doing that is because you have not yet made the association between the way you feel and the well-being that is being allowed by you or kept away from you by you. In other words, somehow you have lost the connection between your understanding that good feels good and not good does not feel good. In other words, when you are in vibrational alignment with who you really are, you feel wonderful. That's why when you think thoughts that complement yourself and they feel good, it's because Source and your inner being and all who are non-physical who know you agree with that thought. But when you think, I'm inappropriate, or I've done wrong, or I've crossed into an area of life where I am no longer blessed, I have sinned, I am no longer worthy, I am bad, I am inappropriate, the reason those thoughts feel so awful, guilt, despair, depression, fear, is because you're choosing a thought that is so not like what your inner being thinks, that you have introduced enormous vibrational variance or resistance or difference between the signal of your source and the signal of the drum that you're beating right now, that your inner being is being disallowed, not allowed by you right here, right now. And when that happens, you don't feel good. That's what negative emotion is. If you don't do anything about it, you feel worse. If you don't do anything about it, you feel still worse. If you don't do anything about it, you feel still worse, until you manifest something really not wanted. And then you say, see, I'm not blessed. And we say, you are blessed. You were blessed. You are blessed. You're just choosing thoughts that don't let the blessings in. You're just not letting the good in that wants to come to you, that would come to you, because you're using something other than your own guidance system to guide you. Why would you do that? Somebody bigger convinced you that it was more important to you to please them than to please yourself. Somebody bigger than you, who really wanted to feel good, who needed you to change your behavior so that they could feel good, trained you to listen to them instead of to you. And then that person handed you off to the school system or to the religious community, or you were influenced by what your peers thought. And all of that comes because you lost faith in your own ability to know. We call this gathering the art of allowing. The art of allowing your alignment with who you really are and what you really know. We'd like to tell you what you know, what you knew before you came forth into this body, and what that non-physical stream source inner being part of you still knows. You are magnificent, and you are good, and you are worthy of wonderful things, and you have come forth into the perfect environment at the perfect time, where contrast abounds to inspire within you fabulous new desires. And you know that those desires will be answered in the moment that they are identified. When you ask, it is given every single time, no exceptions. You are beloved, blessed beings who deserve good things. But it takes a self-convincing before you will allow good things. As we are moving forward here today, it is our desire to reacquaint you with your guidance system. We want you to remember that you are an extension of source energy. And we want the most important thing in every moment of every day for you to be awareness and maintenance of that connection. Because when you are aware and deliberately maintaining that connection, which is what we're talking about, allowing that connection. When you are maintaining, tending to that connection, you're thriving. You're clear-minded, you're joyous, you're healthy, you're sure-footed, you're confident, you're eager, you're passionate, you're in love with life. You are who you are. So when you feel frustrated or overwhelmed or afraid or angry or depressed, those emotions don't mean you're bad. They don't mean you're wrong. Those emotions mean you've practiced some thoughts for quite a long while and activated them often enough in your vibration that they become familiar. And now you have a belief or a dominant vibration that has enough divergent thought in it. And by that we mean different from who you really are and what you really know, that you got static in your vibration. So you're pinching off your connection to the well-being that is flowing to you that you just can't hear. It's like electricity flowing through the walls of your house, but if you don't plug into it, your toaster doesn't work. And if you don't find a way of connecting to the source energy that is flowing to you at all times in a predominant, dominant way, then you are doing less than thriving. And it is your intention and your legacy and your right to thrive. So as we are moving forward here today, and we are chatting with you about whatever is important to you, we'll be listening, feeling for the vibrational content that you are emitting. And we want you to come to understand that the words that you offer don't matter. It's the vibration that you're offering that the universe is responding to. Now, words do reflect the way you feel. Words do reflect the vibration that you're offering. And you can sometimes offer different words, and by the listening to your own different words, begin to change the way you feel. But we don't want you to continue to believe that you can just say yes to something and it will come, and then say no to something else and it will stay away. We want you to understand that the word yes or no means the same thing. Because whatever you're yesing or knowing, you are giving your attention to and achieving vibrational alignment with. Attention to it means, yes, come to me. So when you go down that list of things you don't want, and you talk about the things you worry about and the things that you hope will never come to you, what you're actually saying is, all of these things that I have identified through my life experience that I don't like to experience, I am practicing the vibration of right here and now, making sure that this activated vibration will become activated more. And if I keep saying no to it, I will activate it enough that there will be a dominant vibrational request within me that says to the universe, please continue to bring to me more evidence of this thing that I do not want. So when you get that you're always on, your attention is a request, it sort of makes you want to pay attention to what you're giving your attention to. Now, in fairness, we have to say to you that if you don't ask, it is not given. And how are you going to know what you want to ask for if you don't mix it up in order to figure out how it feels? So it is logical. You knew when you came into these bodies that there would be plenty of things, plenty of variety, a smorgasbord on all topics for you to choose from. And you knew that you would be looking around and that you would be discerning your own personal preferences. But your plan was then, and still is, your plan was to look around until you figured out what it was you preferred, and then your plan was to give your undivided attention to what you prefer, because you understood that that's the way you train your vibrational alignment with what you prefer. And when you do that, it comes to you. Have you ever known someone who you knew was so wrong-headed, you knew that they were not based on what you thought was moral or appropriate behavior, and yet their life still continued to work, they still continued to win? You know why? They don't listen to the other side of the argument and mix up their vibration. They focus upon what they want. They hold themselves in alignment with what they want. They send only one signal about what they want, and the universe delivers to them what they want. And it doesn't matter how many others stand back and claim injustice, unfairness, foul play, inappropriate. The law of attraction always answers your vibration. And it doesn't have anything to do with what anybody else is doing or what anybody else thinks about what you're doing, unless you change your vibration because of what they think.